The world outside Lily's bedroom window was in the midst of its most serene, most exquisite transformation, as the vibrant colors of day gently yielded to the tender hues of twilight. Every night, after a familiar bedtime story, as the lights clicked off, Lily often felt a little bit lonely in her quiet room. But one particular evening, a tiny golden flicker of light appeared, bringing an incredible invitation to a special adventure, where the coziest dreams were born, waiting for Lily to discover the secret of the sleepy forest. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical adventures. Chapter 1. The Incredible Invitation. The world outside Lily's bedroom window was in the midst of its most serene, most exquisite transformation. The vibrant, bustling colors of the day were slowly, gracefully yielding to the tender, muted palette of twilight. Hues of fiery orange, passionate rose, and soft, ethereal lavender painted the vast canvas of the sky, blending seamlessly into the deepening blues and purples that heralded the arrival of night. Inside Lily's room, the air was a comforting warmth, gently stirred by the faint, almost imperceptible whisper of a soft breeze through the slightly open window. It carried the distant sweet scent of newly mown grass from the park down the street, wonderfully mingled with the familiar soothing aroma of her very own lavender-scented pillow, a scent that always promised tranquility. Lily loved this particular time of day, this quiet, magical in-between moment when the energetic vibrancy of daylight gently, almost imperceptibly, drifted into the peaceful stillness of night. It was the special, cherished time, the most anticipated part of her evening ritual, the time for bedtime stories. Every single night, without fail, like a most precious and unwavering tradition, either her mother or her father would settle onto the very edge of her bed. The mattress would dip slightly under their weight, a familiar, comforting presence beside her. Their voices, when they began to read, were always soft, gentle, and imbued with a soothing rhythm that could lull even the most restless spirit. They would read aloud from beloved books, tales brimming with adventurous journeys to faraway lands, brave heroes facing incredible challenges, and fantastical creatures embarking on grand quests. Lily would listen, completely captivated, her imagination soaring alongside the characters, her mind painting vibrant pictures of their daring exploits. But then, as inevitably as the moon followed the sun, the story would reach its end. The last word would be softly spoken, the book gently closed, and the lights in her room would click off, plunging her into the familiar, encompassing darkness. And as the last echoes of their loving good night faded from the doorway, leaving her alone in the quiet expanse of her room, Lily would lie in her big soft bed, feeling just a little bit lonely. The house, once alive with the comforting sounds of family, would become hushed and still. The shadows, once merely indistinct shapes, stretched long and sometimes a little bit spooky across the walls, playing tricks on her eyes, turning familiar objects into shadowy, unfamiliar figures. She'd squeeze her eyes shut tight, wishing for the morning, wishing for the sun to banish the quiet, empty feeling that sometimes crept into her heart. One particular evening, as Lily snuggled deeper under her cozy blanket, pulling it up to her chin, trying to make herself feel smaller, safer, she noticed something extraordinary. A tiny, almost imperceptible flicker of light near her window caught her eye. It was so faint at first, barely a pinprick, that she almost dismissed it as a trick of her imagination, or a distant street lamp's reflection. But then it became undeniably real. It danced gracefully, purposefully in the air. A soft and inviting golden glow, like a minuscule vibrant star, had somehow detangled itself from the vast night sky and decided to come pay her a personal visit. The light began to grow steadily, slowly, growing brighter and brighter, pulsating with a gentle, inner vitality. It moved closer and closer, deliberately, directly towards her. And then, with a graceful, silent movement, a small firefly hovered directly in front of her, suspended magically in the air, its light shining steadily, warmly. "Hello, Lily," the firefly said, its voice a cascade of pure, melodic sound, like the joyful tinkling of countless tiny bells in a gentle, harmonious breeze, each note perfectly clear and sweet. It was the most beautiful sound Lily had ever heard. "My name is Flicker. I've heard about your quiet evenings, and I've seen your wish for something more. Would you like to come on an adventure with me tonight? A truly special journey, one just for you." Lily, startled but utterly mesmerized, her initial surprise quickly giving way to a profound sense of wonder, sat up slowly in her bed, her eyes wide, shining with an inner light that mirrored Flicker's glow. Her heart began to beat a little faster, a soft, excited flutter against her ribs. "An adventure," she whispered, her voice hushed with disbelief and burgeoning excitement. "Where would we go, Flicker?" The very word, adventure, filled her mind with thrilling possibilities, straight from the pages of her favorite books. "To the sleepy forest," Flicker replied, its light pulsing with a playful, inviting rhythm, its voice filled with a sense of delightful mystery. "It's a secret place, Lily, hidden away from the bustling waking world, a magical haven where all the coziest, most comforting dreams are born. They gather there like soft, luminous clouds, waiting to be sent out to children all over the world, to help them sleep soundly and sweetly. But we have to hurry. It only appears when the moon is just right, when its light has the perfect amount of gentle magic to reveal the forest's hidden path. Its magic is fleeting, tied to the precise moment of night." Lily hesitated for a long moment, a tiny flicker of apprehension joining the burgeoning excitement in her heart. She had never ever left her room at night before, not even to go to the kitchen for a sip of water without her parents by her side. The thought of venturing out into the unknown, even with a talking firefly, was both thrilling and a little bit daunting. But Flicker's glow was so incredibly warm and inviting, so steady and comforting, radiating a sense of absolute safety and gentle magic. It felt like a tiny, luminous hand reaching out to her. Promised wonder, not danger. The allure of the sleepy forest, of those coziest dreams, was simply too strong to resist. With a deep breath, a tiny surge of courage blossoming in her chest, she reached out her small hand, her fingers trembling ever so slightly with anticipation. The little firefly, as light as a whisper, landed gently on her finger, its tiny feet soft and imperceptible against her skin, its warmth a surprising comfort. "Hold on tight, Lily," Flicker whispered, its voice a soft, melodious instruction, a playful warning. "And trust in the magic of the night." And with a magnificent, dazzling shimmer, a burst of golden light that seemed to expand outwards from Flicker and encompass them both, the familiar objects of her room. Her bed, her dresser, her cherished toys, began to subtly, gracefully fade. The solid walls seemed to melt into a gentle, swirling mist of light and shadow, the very air around them shimmering and changing, dissolving into an ethereal glow. Lily felt a sensation like floating, a gentle, weightless drift, as if she were being lifted on the softest cloud, carried away to a place beyond her wildest dreams. She squeezed her eyes shut tight, holding Flicker's light, ready for whatever wondrous magic awaited them. Chapter 2. Entering the Dream Grove. When Lily, with a mix of trepidation and immense anticipation, slowly, tentatively opened her eyes again, the world around her had completely transformed. The familiar, comforting walls of her bedroom were gone. The soft carpet under her bare feet was replaced by something entirely different. She was standing, quite miraculously, at the very edge of a forest unlike any she had ever seen in her books, or in her most fantastical daydreams. This was no ordinary forest of green leaves and brown bark. The trees, impossibly tall and ancient, their immense trunks reaching majestically towards a sky that seemed to hum with quiet magic, shimmered with an ethereal beauty. Their leaves glowed softly, bathed in gentle iridescent shades of shimmering blue and silver, casting a soft, otherworldly light upon the forest floor. A gentle, almost imperceptible breeze drifted through the glowing canopy, carrying with it the enchanting delicate scent of wild lavender blooming unseen, mingled with the fresh, clean aroma of fresh rain that seemed to have just fallen, settling on every leaf and blade of grass. The air itself felt soft and cool, alive with a quiet, shimmering energy. "Welcome to the sleepy forest, Lily," Flicker said, its voice a melodic, joyful chime, echoing slightly in the vastness of the magical grove. It flitted playfully ahead, a tiny luminous guide, its golden glow bobbing gently up and down, beckoning her deeper into the wondrous woods. "This is where dreams come to rest, Lily, before they begin their long, important journey. It's a quiet, special place where they gather and become strong and ready before they find their way to children like you, to bring them comfort and peace as they slumber." Lily, still awestruck by the sheer beauty and silent magic of her surroundings, followed Flicker down a narrow, winding path that seemed to glow with a soft, inner luminescence. The path was lined on both sides by clusters of fat, luminescent glowing mushrooms, their caps radiating a gentle, inviting light that pulsed softly, like tiny, friendly lanterns guiding their way. As they walked deeper into the heart of the forest, a profound stillness enveloped them, yet it was not an empty stillness. Lily began to hear soft, almost indistinguishable whispers carried on the gentle breeze, like secrets being exchanged between the ancient trees, and the delicate, rhythmic rustling leaves overhead sounded like quiet, contented sighs. The air itself seemed to hum with a gentle, unseen life. Then, from behind a large, ancient-looking bush, its leaves shimmering with dew, a pair of bright, curious eyes peered out, reflecting Flicker's golden glow like tiny emeralds. A small, fluffy rabbit with fur as white as moonlit snow hopped cautiously forward, its movements graceful and silent, its nose twitching delicately. "Hello, Lily," it said, its voice unbelievably soft and comforting, like the gentle whisper of cotton against her cheek, or the rustle of a downy feather. It was a voice that immediately put her at ease, erasing any lingering apprehension. "We've been waiting for you, little one." The whispers of your longing for companionship carried to us on the night breeze. "Waiting for me?" Lily asked, her voice hushed with wonder and a growing sense of importance. Why would all these magical forest creatures be waiting for her? The rabbit nodded its small, furry head, its bright eyes full of gentle wisdom. Yes, it affirmed softly. Every single night, as the moon climbs high and the world grows still, the animals of the sleepy forest gather in a special place. We come together to share our dreams, our happiest thoughts, our coziest feelings, our fondest memories, weaving them together into a beautiful tapestry of peace. Tonight we hoped you'd join us, Lily. We sensed your kind heart, and your need for a special secret to banish the lonely shadows. Lily's heart, which had been a little quiet and unsure just moments ago, now fluttered with an immense, bubbling excitement, like a tiny bird taking flight. This was truly extraordinary, beyond anything she could have imagined. She eagerly followed the friendly rabbit deeper into the ancient, glowing forest, her steps light and filled with wonder. The trees seemed to part for them, revealing a large, circular clearing bathed in the soft, iridescent light that filtered through the leaves. In the clearing, dozens of animals sat in a vast, concentric circle, their forms distinct yet serene. There were sleek, cunning-looking foxes with bushy tails curled around them, wise-looking owls perched silently on low-hanging branches, their large eyes observant, graceful deer with wide, gentle eyes, and even a massive, shaggy, sleepy bear, curled up in a comfortable mound, letting out soft, rumbling snores that somehow contributed to the peaceful atmosphere. At the very center of the clearing stood a circular pool of shimmering water, its surface completely still and reflecting the soft, glowing light of the forest. But it wasn't just a reflection. The water itself seemed alive, gently rippling with all the colors of the moonlit night. Silvery whites, soft blues, deep purples, and even faint ethereal golds, swirling in a mesmerizing dance. "This is the Dream Grove," Flicker explained, its light dancing with obvious delight as it hovered above the shimmering pool, its voice filled with reverence. "It's the heart of the sleepy forest, Lily. Here we share our coziest, happiest dreams, the ones that fill us with the most profound sense of peace and comfort. We share them with each other, and they become stronger, brighter, ready to travel far and wide. Would you like to see?" Lily, her eyes wide with a combination of awe and eager anticipation, nodded slowly, almost speechless. This was a secret, magical place, and she was being welcomed into its most sacred ritual. A soft, collective murmur of welcome seemed to ripple through the assembled animals, and they all smiled, their gentle, knowing expressions inviting her to partake in the quiet, profound magic of the Dream Grove. Chapter 3. The Tapestry of Dreams. A hushed, expectant silence settled over the Dream Grove, punctuated only by the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft, ambient hum of the magical forest. The animals, poised around the shimmering pool, looked at Lily with an encouraging, welcoming stillness. The wise owl, with its ancient, knowing eyes, was the first to stir. It stepped forward gracefully, its large, silent wings barely disturbing the air, and perched on the edge of the luminous pool, its gaze fixed on the swirling colors within. "Tonight," it said, its voice a soft, resonant hoot, deep and calm like the rustle of old paper, "I dreamed of flying high, high above the world, soaring effortlessly on the soft currents of the night wind, gliding over an endless field of stars. They twinkled below me like scattered diamonds, each one a tiny world of light." As the owl spoke, its dream, shimmering with a delicate ethereal light, seemed to detach itself from its very feathers, like tiny luminous motes. It floated gently, purposefully, downwards, then landed softly in the center of the pool. The water responded instantly, swirling with a burst of brilliant, iridescent colors, transforming into a vivid, breathtaking scene. A vast, magnificent night sky filled with countless brilliantly twinkling lights, each star a jewel, stretching as far as the eye could see. Lily gasped softly, completely mesmerized. Next, the sleek, reddish fox, with its intelligent, curious eyes, stepped lightly to the pool's edge. "My dream," it said, its voice a quiet, playful rustle, like dry leaves skittering across the forest floor, was of chasing countless tiny glowing fireflies through a vast moonlit meadow, their lights dancing like 1,000 fleeting stars. They were so quick, so elusive, but always just within reach, a joyous game played under the silent, watchful eye of the moon. As the fox finished speaking, its dream, a shimmering, playful energy, detached itself from its bushy tail and flowed into the pool, swirling into a vibrant scene of a moonlit meadow filled with dancing points of light, a silent, joyful chase unfolding on the water's surface. Then a graceful, shy deer, with large, liquid eyes that seemed to hold the quiet wisdom of the forest, approached the pool. Its voice was soft and melodic, like the gentle whisper of wind through tall grass. "I dreamed," it murmured, its dream flowing from its velvet antlers, "of resting peacefully beneath the sturdy branches of an ancient sheltering tree, feeling the gentle cool earth beneath my hooves. The wind sang me soft, comforting lullabies through the rustling leaves, a soothing melody that lulled me into the deepest, most serene slumber, filling me with peace and safety." The deer's dream settled into the pool, creating an image of a tranquil forest glade, bathed in soft light, with a gentle breeze stirring the leaves, almost audible in the quiet. One by one, each animal, from the smallest field mouse to the most majestic stag, added their dreams to the shimmering pool. There was a badger's dream of digging the coziest, warmest burrow, a squirrel's dream of finding the biggest, plumpest acorn, a robin's dream of soaring on the very first rays of dawn. Lily watched in utter awe as the images, the colors, the feelings from each dream gently blended together, seamlessly swirling and merging on the surface of the water. It wasn't a chaotic mess, but a harmonious, breathtaking tapestry of warmth and comfort, a living, breathing painting woven from pure happiness, peace and serenity. The pool glowed with an inner light, reflecting the collective joy of the dream grove. Then the massive, shaggy bear, who had been quietly observing from his comfortable spot, stirred. He let out a soft, deep rumble, a sound like distant thunder, comforting and profound. His eyes blinking slowly. "What about you, Lily?" he asked. His voice surprisingly gentle and warm, a deep, inviting murmur. "Do you have a dream to share with us? A cozy, happy dream from your own heart?" Lily bit her lip, a tiny knot of nervousness forming in her stomach. Her dreams felt so small, so ordinary, compared to the grand, fantastical dreams of flying owls and star-chasing foxes. "I don't know," she mumbled softly, her voice barely audible. "I don't know if my dreams are special enough. They're just my dreams." She worried they wouldn't fit into the magnificent tapestry. Flicker, sensing her hesitation, her moment of doubt, landed softly on her shoulder, its tiny weight a reassuring presence, its golden light pulsing with gentle encouragement. "Every dream is special, Lily," it whispered, its voice a soft, tinkling chime, filled with profound wisdom. "Every single one. Especially when it comes from your own heart, when it's truly yours." It is a part of you, and that makes it magnificent, unique, and utterly precious. Your dreams are just as important as any star-filled sky or moonlit meadow. Lily closed her eyes, taking a deep, calming breath, feeling Flicker's warm light on her shoulder, drawing courage from its unwavering belief. She thought deeply, trying to remember her very favorite dream, the one that always left her feeling warm and happy upon waking. It came to her quickly. A vibrant, joyful picnic with her family under the sheltering branches of a giant, ancient tree, its leaves rustling gently in the sunshine. She remembered the sound of their easy, infectious laughter echoing through the air, the feeling of the warm, bright sunshine on her skin, the taste of her favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the simple, profound joy of being together, completely happy and surrounded by love. It was a dream of pure, unadulterated contentment. She held that vivid image in her mind, feeling its warmth in her heart. Then, with a soft, confident whisper, a breath that carried all the love and happiness of her dream, she leaned forward and shared it into the shimmering pool. The water responded instantly, shimmering with a new, vibrant glow, as her dream, warm and golden, joined the others, becoming a beautiful part of the collective tapestry. The animals, in a chorus of soft, contented sounds, clapped softly, their gentle applause echoing through the grove like the rustle of many leaves. A wave of warmth and acceptance flowed over Lily. "Now," the wise owl said, its voice filled with quiet anticipation, "watch what happens next, little Lily. This is the most important part of the magic." The pool, now absolutely brimming with the combined energy of countless happy dreams, began to glow brighter and brighter, radiating an intense, yet soft, luminous light that filled the entire clearing. And then, slowly, majestically, the dreams within the pool began to rise like mist, a shimmering ethereal vapor lifting from the water's surface. It drifted upwards, gracefully, silently, flowing through the ancient glowing trees, twirling around their luminous leaves, and ascending higher and higher, directly into the sky above. As they rose, they sparkled like countless tiny stars, each one a miniature point of light, before gently, mysteriously, disappearing into the vast, open night, merging with the distant, true stars, becoming one with the cosmic brilliance. "Those dreams," Flicker explained, its voice filled with a profound sense of purpose and a quiet triumph, "are going to children everywhere, Lily. To every quiet room, every sleepy child, every corner of the world where a little light and comfort is needed. So that even when they're alone in their beds, even when the shadows stretch long, they'll feel a little less lonely. They'll feel connected, safe, and loved. They'll be wrapped in the coziest dreams, sent from the heart of the sleepy forest." Lily's heart swelled with understanding and immense gratitude. "That's beautiful," she whispered, her eyes shining with quiet tears of wonder and joy. It truly was the most beautiful secret she had ever learned. Chapter 4. A Farewell and a Lasting Connection. As the last shimmering wisps of dreams gracefully floated away from the dream grove, ascending into the vast, open expanse of the night sky, a palpable sense of quiet stillness settled over the sleepy forest. The vibrant, pulsating light of the pool softened, slowly dimming into a gentle, internal glow. The magical energy that had filled the clearing began to recede, gradually dissipating into the ancient trees. The animals who had contributed so much of their joyful energy began to yawn, their large, gentle mouths opening wide, their eyelids drooping with a peaceful, contented weariness. Their soft snores, once barely audible, now joined the quiet rustling of the leaves, creating a soothing symphony of slumber. They were ready for their own deep, restorative sleep, their purpose fulfilled for the night. "It's almost time for you to go back, Lily," Flicker said, its voice filled with a gentle, wistful note, a soft melody of farewell. Its light, though still steady, pulsed with a subtle hint of melancholy. "The sleepy forest, too, will soon be completely asleep. Its magic will recede into its roots, its glowing leaves will soften, and its secrets will be tucked away until the next moon-perfect night." Lily looked around the beautiful, enchanted clearing, her gaze sweeping over the peaceful, slumbering animals and the soft, shimmering trees. A wave of profound sadness washed over her, a quiet ache settling in her chest. She had found such comfort and wonder here, such a sense of belonging. The thought of leaving, of returning to the quiet solitude of her room, felt like losing a precious, newly discovered treasure. "Will I ever come back?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper, filled with a desperate hope, clinging to the possibility of return. "Will I see you all again, Flicker? Will I find my way back to this magical place?" The small, fluffy rabbit, sensing her apprehension, hopped forward once more, its voice as soft as cotton, carrying a message of enduring comfort. "Whenever you feel lonely, little one, or whenever the shadows feel too long, just close your eyes and remember this place," it said, its gaze gentle and knowing. "Remember the glowing trees, the shimmering pool, the shared dreams, and the quiet comfort of our gathering. The sleepy forest is always here, not just out there in the night, but deep within your heart. It lives within your memories, within your imagination, within the very fabric of your kind and loving spirit. You carry its magic with you always." Flicker, its golden glow intensifying slightly, became a steady, brilliant beacon, signaling the imminent journey home. "Hold on tight, Lily," it said, its voice filled with loving reassurance, yet with a firm urgency. "It's time to return. The path is ready." Lily waved goodbye to the peaceful, sleepy animals, a silent farewell to her newfound friends. A tiny, hopeful smile touched her lips, knowing that even though she was leaving, she would carry their warmth and wisdom with her. As she held Flicker's light, the magical forest began to fade around her. The towering, luminous trees blurred into soft, ethereal light, their shapes dissolving into a shimmering mist. The ground beneath her feet became indistinct, and she felt herself drifting, a gentle, weightless sensation, as if she were floating on a cloud, suspended between worlds, carried by an unseen, loving current. Then, with a gentle, almost imperceptible sigh, a soft exhalation of magic, she found herself back in her own bed. Her cozy blankets, which she had thrown back in her excitement, were now magically tucked around her, precisely as she liked them, warm and secure. The room was quiet once more, the glow-in-the-dark stars on her ceiling providing the only light. But now, it felt profoundly different. It was warmer, safer, filled with a gentle, lingering magic that no amount of darkness could diminish. The shadows, instead of feeling scary, seemed almost friendly, like quiet guardians of a precious secret. Flicker's voice, now a soft, ethereal whisper, seemed to brush against her ear, almost as if it were a gentle breeze carrying a final, loving message. "Remember, Lily," it whispered, its voice filled with the wisdom of the night. "You're never truly alone. Never. Every single night, the dreams of the sleepy forest, the cozy, comforting dreams shared by all its creatures, connect us all. They are an invisible, beautiful thread, weaving warmth and peace into the heart of every child. Lily snuggled deeper under her blanket, feeling its familiar comfort, her heart full to bursting with wonder and a profound sense of connection. The knowledge of the sleepy forest, its secret and its purpose, settled deep within her, a warm, glowing ember. She closed her eyes, and for the very first time, the darkness that enveloped her felt not lonely or vast, but utterly friendly, a welcoming embrace, a silent friend filled with endless possibilities. Chapter 5. The Lasting Secret. The next morning, Lily woke naturally, without the need for an alarm, feeling refreshed and surprisingly light. A wide, genuine smile touched her lips even before her eyes fully opened. Sunlight, bright and golden, streamed cheerfully through her window, painting warm stripes across her bedroom floor. Outside, the familiar happy chirping of birds filled the air, singing their morning songs. She stretched languidly, her limbs feeling wonderfully loose and rested, and for a fleeting moment she wondered, had it all been just a beautiful, incredibly vivid dream? Had the sleepy forest, flicker, and all the kind animals been merely a figment of her imagination, a magical story woven by her own mind in the quiet of the night? Then, as she pushed back her covers and prepared to swing her legs out of bed, her gaze fell upon her nightstand. And there, glinting softly in the morning light, sat a tiny, unmistakable glowing speck. It wasn't a dust particle caught in a sunbeam. It pulsed with a faint, inner luminescence, a soft, ethereal golden glow that seemed impossible in the bright morning. It was a single, delicate firefly's wing, impossibly small and translucent, shimmering with the iridescent magic she remembered so vividly. It was Flicker's gift, a tangible piece of her extraordinary night, a silent, glittering proof that it had all been real. Lily carefully, reverently picked it up, her fingers trembling slightly with awe. It felt weightless, like a wisp of pure magic, yet utterly solid in its meaning. She looked at it for a long moment, remembering every detail of her adventure, every whispered word, every shared dream. Then, with a feeling of deep gratitude and a profound sense of belonging, she tucked it carefully under her pillow, a cherished secret, a personal talisman that would remind her of the night's wonder. That night, and every night after, as the lights went out and the shadows stretched long across her walls, she never felt lonely in her big bed again. The vastness of her room no longer felt empty, but filled with an invisible, comforting presence. Because now she knew the secret of the sleepy forest. She knew that even when you're alone in your room, tucked snugly in your bed, you're never truly solitary. You are, in fact, surrounded by an invisible, comforting network, a beautiful tapestry woven from the coziest dreams of everyone, everywhere. The dreams of wise old owls from magical forests, the playful dreams of mischievous foxes, the serene dreams of graceful deer, the comforting dreams of big, sleepy bears, and even the simple, heartfelt dreams that fill her own precious heart. And knowing that, truly feeling that profound connection, understanding that she was a part of something so vast and comforting, made all the difference in the world. It transformed the quiet of night from something lonely into something profoundly peaceful. As the stars began to twinkle outside her window, one by one, painting their sparkling patterns across the vast, deep canvas of the night sky, Lily closed her eyes. She imagined the animals gathering in the dream grove once more, their voices soft as they shared their cozy, happy dreams into the shimmering pool. She imagined those dreams rising like luminous mist, drifting out into the world, finding their way to every child, every single night, bringing comfort and peace. And with that beautiful, comforting, infinitely reassuring thought filling her mind and her heart, Lily drifted off to sleep, safe, sound, and wonderfully connected to the endless magic of the sleepy forest. From that night, and every night after, as the lights went out and shadows stretched long across her walls, Lily never felt lonely in her big bed again. She now knew the secret of the sleepy forest. Even when alone, she was surrounded by an invisible, comforting network, a beautiful tapestry woven from the coziest dreams of everyone, everywhere. And with that beautiful, comforting, infinitely reassuring thought filling her mind and her heart, Lily drifted off to sleep, safe, sound, and wonderfully connected to the endless magic of the sleepy forest. If this story warmed your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more magical tales. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep looking up.